All right, we got a beautiful day here today. Look, at 30 degrees. We get to run the backhoe and we got to drive this back up to the house. We got about a 7-mile drive. Doing some work here, cutting trees down and clearing. Dad wants to build a house over here, so been digging out the stumps. You could probably see our pile over there. But this here, JCB. Let's get the key, fire this thing up. Take it from there. I say we got a little bit of a drive ahead of us. Where the heck did I put that key? Oh. It's always fun when you get to drive down the road in one of these things. Will she fire right up here? Of course she will. Look at that. All right, we're running. Now, with this machine, some say to let it run and let it warm up before you use it. And from everything I can find out from JCB, they want you to start it, let the oil get circulated through it, and then start using it so you build heat, temperature and warm up the engine as quick as possible. Okay, now, I'll show you a couple of the things we have to do here. Let me just back up out of this spot that I'm in. What an awesome machine. Do everything with this backhoe. We got to set the back here in, turn the gear up to that. And what we're doing is we're dropping this back onto that pin so it locks the back end and then it doesn't bounce down the road. So that's a big deal there. Alrighty. Pretty simple little procedure. Drops back down on there like that. Now we lower this so we're good. Just bring the pin with me. Now this machine, just give a quick walk around, make sure everything's looking good with it. Tires look good. All right, yeah, we're a little dirty, but otherwise we're all right. Cool. We have this all situated here. Close our door. Now, first thing we gotta do is drop this pin. You can see that right down there. We'll lower the back. Now it's locked. Now the bucket's in there. That's tight. Next, we want to make sure our side things are up all the way here. The supports out of the way of the road. Then I turn on every single light and switch we have. We have a backlight there. We have hazards. We have headlights, flashers, everything. If you can't see this big giant yellow thing driving down the road, well, I don't know what to tell you. Okay. Seatbelt is the next big one. Let's get moving on this thing here. It's going to take us a while to drive. First gear, reverse, just to back up out of here. Okay, you need the seatbelt in this because you will bounce a lot. All right, let's pick a better gear than first. Got a little over under half tank. Well, that's enough to get us there. On the road. Now this road's pretty dead right through here. It's up ahead where it gets bad. Wow. Up ahead, a few miles, about a mile or two. We got to get on a busy main road. What I'm trying to do is knock off some of this dirt that's on our tires off the road before we knock it off on the road. It's that much less mess we make. And we're making a little mess on the road, but not much. Good. Well, we're moving. It's going to be a slow ride. It's probably going to take maybe a half an hour of cruising along. Like I said, this thing, you want to get it up and working as quick as you can. If it just sits there and idles, it doesn't build any heat, and you need to build a little heat for the engine. And now that we're up here, let's... Still on a little hill. Come on, girl. Get you moving here. Like a herd of turtles. Beautiful place right there. always fun driving a big machine down the road. And this thing, I mean, it drives like a car. It's a piece of cake. You need to make sure you stay out of everybody's way. Now, always fun. Oh, don't want to kill the power there. Just want to make sure you run your bucket pretty low. Not enough that it's going to hit the road, but low enough that if anybody ever hits you, you're not going to like hit them in the windshield. Kind of your bumper. All right, now we're above the hill. We're starting to pick up a little speed. I wish our thing was working right here. We're going about 20-ish. Singing along. Now this thing, a little less than half a tank of fuel. This sucker, man, it sips fuel. Can't even begin to tell you how to use it or what I did, but I mean, I've been running for like 2 days, doing all kinds of tree stuff, drove down here, and that was on 3/4 of a tank of fuel to start with. So I burned, I don't know, 6 gallons of diesel to do a bunch of work with it. Hard to beat it. Every once in a while, vary your speed so you're not just flat out. You don't want to be flat out with it. I mean, it'll probably run fine, but I don't know. I don't like to beat my equipment. Take good care of it. Yes, it's going to take me a while to drive home. I know that. And just take your time, and you'll be fine. This kind of fencing, we want to build that up on the land. Start doing some cow farming. See if that can happen. That's kind of where all this came about. We were down there cutting those trees down, and we're going to build fence and posts just like this. Well, use our land. Check that out in a different video there. Yeah, like I said, this road's kind of nice. There's nobody on it. So you have some time. Just sit and relax and just drive it until you get to the busy part. The busy road's a pain in the butt because people are right on your butt the whole time. They're flying along. And, well, there's tricks to that. I'll show you what to do. You don't want to be one of those jerks driving down the road in a backhoe with a line of 50 cars behind you, that's for sure. Good little road to run for now. Now we're coming to one of our only downhills of this whole ride home. It's basically a long climb up the mountain. And it's going to be very slow. So this will be one of the fastest times we get to go down this little bits of a hill here. And then just creep for a while. It's slow enough in 4th gear, but when you have to hit 2nd gear, just putt. You're like a walking speed. But I mean, you are moving a 17,000-pound machine. Just got a little Perkins 4-cylinder diesel in there. Turbo diesel makes about 100 horsepower. I think it's like 90 horsepower. It's enough for this beast. Oh, another thing, you want to make sure that you have your brakes locked down here. Boom. You can see down there with the brake pedal. Let me take and move this. You have this bar that can go across. You want to make sure you lock that so when you hit the pedal, both brakes come on at the same time. If you don't and you hit one, well, and you're in an emergency, you hit that one, you might just make a quick hard right, and that's definitely not going to be what you want to do in this machine. And you can feel it bouncing. Now you can see that thing jumping a little bit back there, and then how that locks it in place so it can't move anymore. Definite help. Well, that was our hill. Well, a little more. We got to come down through here and then a stone bridge at the bottom, which is really narrow. It's kind of like threading a needle. And the bridge is gone. They put up a guardrail. That's a little better. I think something else hit it. But you always feel like you're going to hit it as you come through here. Bouncing around like, oh man, creek on both sides. Just wide enough. And you don't want to slow down, you want to carry all your speed you can with this thing. Especially as we hit another little hill. Cool, we made it. We didn't even have to downshift. Now, last bit before the busy road. definitely the perk of one of these machines. You have heat. I love that. I wish it had air conditioning. If it was a year newer, this is a 94. I believe 95, 96, that became mandatory to have air conditioning in equipment like this. And man, it would be nice on some of those really hot summer days to just come out and work in the backhoe because you had air conditioning. But, you know, we definitely don't want to be running this one in the sun in a field, that's for sure. You'd cook. It's always fun when you're coming down a hill like this and you have to stop at the bottom. Like, all right. Big machine running through. And we just downshift here. Okay, we got some cars coming. Well, we'll start out third. Get across once this car comes by. Now this is the busy road. This is where it gets fun when there's cars everywhere. You want to make sure to hug a little bit, you know, to your side of the line so you stay away from people. They're already going to be intimidated by a big machine coming at them. And this thing you just drive with one finger. You're driving a pinky. It's that easy. It does bounce because you have no suspension, so you're kind of doing this. If you get it really rocking, you definitely want to stop and start over again because it's not good to get that perpetual ba-boom, ba-boom. And every once in a while, you just want to check behind you, make sure there are no cars. Actually, I think what I might do is swing this boom over a little bit. Okay. Now when I spin around, it's a little easier to see if anybody's behind me. Let me do that a little slower for you. So if I spin around now, I can see a little easier behind the backhoe. So far, so good. I guess I kind of picked the right time of the day. It's like 10 o'clock on a Friday morning to be driving this home. So most people are busy doing other things and not really running on this road. Can we make this hill without having to downshift? It's still chugging good. And she's pulling fine, good. All right, that's one. Every one we can make it to. Take it. Yeah, definitely don't feel intimidated by doing this. You know, just if you have any experience in a backhoe, it's a piece of cake to run them down the road. It's a lot of fun. Here comes a big gas truck. We'll make sure we're way out of this dude's way, so he's got plenty of room. Still good behind us. Great machine. Yeah, I'll take notice again of what the gas gauge looks like when we get home, but it holds like 20-25 gallons of diesel. So there you go. You can gauge that out to about where we should be. Probably 10 gallons and a half a tank. Call it that. Still no one behind us. Wow. Take it. Running along pretty nice here. Slowing down, but is she gonna keep going for this? We're at the top of the hill. Cool, we didn't have to downshift yet again. For another half a mile. Get to check out everything at this speed. Kind of neat. Beautiful little stream. Creek or a crick, depending on which side of this town you grew up on. Now we're starting the hill. Now this is going to be, it's the worst part. It's a long, slow drive once we get up here. I guess can't really complain too much. You know, it is a backhoe and I'm able to go 20 miles an hour, so speed limit's 40 and I'm going 20, well, so it takes twice as long to get there. Whoop-de-doo. Still no cars behind us. Hey, I don't know if you can see the road up ahead, but it's kind of like, ooh. We're still going good. We haven't had to downshift yet. And you definitely want to do it before it's necessary, and you'll feel probably right about there, so we can keep the momentum going, so when we hit third, we're already still pulling nice in third. Look at that. Woo, love it. No guardrail, right on the edge. And now it's going to be a lot slower going in third gear. But hey, at least we might have to hit second gear up there. I don't know, it's pretty steep for chugging along here. And you know, this thing's got a couple years on it. It's a 94 JCB 214. Man, I can't have anything bad to say about this machine. It's done everything I've ever wanted, short of not having air conditioning. It's got the cab, you have heat. It's got an extend-a-hoe for the dipper. That's huge, so I can dig 15 feet deep with it. Four-wheel drive. Well, I mean, it's awesome. It does everything, and I can drive it. You just drive it from job to job if you need to, down the road. A lot of people said, oh, you should have got an excavator, and an excavator would be handy. Yes, I could use one probably maybe a little faster in some situations. However, this doesn't tear up the yard. I can go in there and drive right through my grass and move around heavy logs and pick things up, and all right, we made it up that hill. I thought we'd have to downshift and still not rip up my grass and have to fix it. So an excavator really wouldn't work for me. For everything I do, this is kind of the right answer, and then I'd have to haul that as well. So I'd be limited either paying somebody to haul it and have a big excavator, or have a smaller one and haul it myself. This thing is big and has the power that I need. And I pick up big logs and stuff, sawmilling with it and digging, and God, we built the boiler and all that just because we had this thing. I'll have to check out that video. I'll put a link. I think it's there. All right, I can get to fourth here a little bit, maybe from 10 feet. Should have hit that a little better back there. It's distracted talking to you. Neat being able to look down on everybody from up here. I can't believe we haven't had any cars behind us yet. That's a big pet peeve of mine, is being behind another backhoe and just watching it drive. It's like, pull over, get out of the way. Now you'll notice, okay, here we have a car. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull over to the side here, and I'm going to let this guy wave him right around right now. No cars coming, and we're good, and he gets to keep right on moving. No reason for me to not do that. It took no effort. I didn't even slow down. I just pulled over and waved him right around. Now you'll notice I don't have a pilot car following me. Let me downshift here quick because we're on a big hill. If I had another car following behind me, it would take so much more distance for that car behind them to get around the pilot car and then me to make a pass. Without anybody, they could see and just zip right around me. I guess people are worried about getting ran into. Well, if you run into this big stupid thing, you probably shouldn't be driving anyway because, well, like I said, it's got flashing lights everywhere and it's bright yellow. So, yes, it moves a little bit slow, but there's still no reason to run into it. And I don't know, I wouldn't worry. I've been doing this quite a bit. And haven't had any problems. A few times a year, I guess, you run up and down the mountain. Definitely don't want to hit potholes because you will bounce a lot with a pothole. Yeah, it's a slow drive through these twisty, windy parts. Normally, this is a really fun road until the potholes. You know, they put so much road salt on everything, it destroys everything up in Pennsylvania. But this road is a lot of fun to ride a motorcycle on. And you can see down through there all these twisty, windy turns and curves. It's one that's never been straightened, and I hope they never do. I guess it's fun to run anything. Yeah, it's kind of nice to slow down and just check out the world at a different pace. Sit back, relax. a snowstorm, people are coming out, hey, plow me out, plow me out. So if you do this right, you can make a buck while you're doing it. Granted, I don't like to run this at all in the snow if I can avoid it. I had an emergency where I needed it. But normally, yeah, like I said, with the road salt, I don't want to get any salt on this thing. And I could have probably pushed it in 4th gear over that, but I don't. I like to baby this machine. I mean, I've had it for 20 years. 15, 16 years. Either one of those. Since like 2003. So quite a few years with this thing now, and God, I plan to keep it the rest of my life. This is an awesome, awesome machine. I had a couple options, you know, do you buy a Kubota? Smaller machine, and yes, it would work for a lot of what I needed, but it doesn't really have the oomph for the real dumb stuff I do. And I really wanted to buy something that's kind of industrial because it's built to run all day long, wide open by any moron. So you're really, I don't have to baby this. I could just use it. And even though I still do baby it by not using it, it should last a long time and just keep right on running. But that was a big determining factor to buy this. You know, it wasn't cheap, but I could have bought a nice new Kubota. Instead, I bought a 10-year-old machine that's industrial. And the coolest thing is this thing is worth as much money as what I paid for it 16 years ago. So far I've had this for all those years, countless projects, and just an ease of life by having this. Just cutting firewood, picking things up with trees and knocking them over, and you're safe. And it's still worth what I paid for it. So you can't lose short of that massive outlay of money to begin with. But it changes your life in different ways. I mean, it opens up a whole lot of opportunities. Just the outdoor wood boiler. Never would have built that, never would have given it a thought if I didn't have a way to pick up and move 1,000-pound sheets of steel and then build this boiler that weighs a couple 1,000 pounds and set it in place and dig the trench. You know, all those things came together. Surprisingly, I didn't realize how often I'd be using it to plow the driveway. We get any storm over, you know, 8 inches of snow or so, it's probably plow with this instead of the 4-wheeler. Then I can push this piles up. Oh, and then you can make jumps and bank turns for riding your 4-wheelers, and you can have fun with stuff. So there's another perk to having this. You're not just pushing piles of snow and dealing with it. You can pick them up, move them, and make cool things with them. Wow, one car. Okay, this is the worst hill here. Oh, there's accidents on this all the time. Make sure I get this shift right. Got her. I'm sure I'm gonna have to hit second. This is gonna be a long, slow hill here. I think I can. I'm probably going, oh, I don't know, 5 miles an hour maybe. I could probably run this fast. Wouldn't want to. Much rather sit here. But yeah, countless motorcycles and cars blow this turn and just fly right in through there. A few times a year this road's closed from that. You can see all the gouges from the tow trucks pulling stuff out of here. Pretty cool road. Alright, we're up the mountain now, on the home stretch. Cool. Good deal. So, big reason we had to bring this home, we have a fridge coming today. And at the house, we have no way to get anything upstairs short of the backhoe. There's another perk of having it. So I take a panel off our deck, and I put this forks on the front, and I can pick things up to the deck. 12 feet up in the air. Today we're going to be doing a fridge. So I have to gear up for that and get ready for that thing. It's amongst a million other things I have to do back up at the house. Figure take it down there and work while I can. I know I have an opportunity to take all those trees that are back there, and while we run the sawmill, here, check this one out. We're going to do some sawmilling over there and cut up some boards, made 2x4s. And yeah, we're going to build fence stuff next. Got a little dirt there. Give it a little brake running up the engine. little bouncy. Woo! That was a good bounce. We're getting there. I love it. When I get to here, it's like, ah, the pressure's off. I could drag it home with the car if I had a car, but the truck could. Pretty much any problem we had, so. Feel a lot of relief there. Oh, we got a car behind us. Okay, well, here, I can pull over. Yeah, we'll just pull over up ahead. Avoid that big pile of salt they left in the road. This guy's turning in here or what? Well, you know what? I'm gonna just keep driving because if he's not turning in there, then he's not. Okay, he can pass me anywhere here if he wants. There's one car. See, there's another car behind me here. I don't know if they're gonna pass yet. Yep, here they come. They stay out of the way and boom, they go flying right by you. That's smart. They don't need to be driving 10 miles an hour behind me. Go right around me. I guess tire wear might be something to be concerned with a big machine like this. I just changed that tire. That's the first tire I've had to change on this yet, and they're kind of wearing out from dry rot, more so than from wearing out on roads. They kind of last anyway. Now I don't use this machine all that often. Kind of wish I used it more. I guess I use it just enough. When you need it, you need it. But yeah, I guess it's been justified to be driving because I'm not paying somebody else to haul it. So that eats up costs real quick there. A few minutes of my time, and still the diesel, they barely even used any to get home. 1/16 of a tank to drive it up the mountain. And if it takes 20 gallons, so would it take a gallon? Okay, now I got to downshift. A gallon and a half to drive home, 7 miles. Wow, it's pretty good. If you think about it, even if it takes 2 or 3 gallons, it's still, you know, $9 is the most worth of fuel to drive it home instead of paying somebody $200 to haul it. And yeah, it's a short haul. I mean, it's not much of a distance, but they're still going to charge you because I got to come look up their stuff and their time, and maybe you get it for a little cheaper. All right, well, we made it. Woohoo! Relief. That wasn't bad at all. Simple little ride. Now, like I said, we have a fridge coming. I'm sure the guy's probably not going to back down this driveway with the truck. So I'll probably be out here with this and forks loading it and putting it up into the house. I should probably film that for you guys. All right, let's see where we're going to put this now. Woo! Where are my forks at? I think they're over there anyway. They are over there. While I have you here, let me show you how all this works. This is awesome. So you can see, I don't know if you can see too well, but I have those 3 hooks on the bucket. And up ahead by this junk Subaru, we're ripping that engine out to put in another Volkswagen. We have that one in that, the bus is around here somewhere. But that Jeep there, that's a badass Jeep. That's got a souped up 350 in there. There's a video, I'll put a link here for that video. All kinds of links and videos in this little clip here. So, all you gotta do is line up. Granted, there's a branch in the way. I wonder if how much that branch is gonna mess me up. Maybe I can break it right out of the way. And of course, it's supposed to go right where that is. Come on, you stupid branch. What are you doing there? Come on, get out of there. I think I finally got the branch to drop. Or did I get it stuck on the hook? Nope, got the branch out of the way. Now maybe I can get in there and grab the bucket. It's a little tricky to line this up, but you get the hang of it when you do it enough times. Nope, still not on quite. There we go. And then you just curl your bucket and you've got yourself forks. Didn't even have to get out, boom. Drive away and go. So there's an awesome little feature to this thing. And they were a couple $100 to set up, and you have to buy decent forks. I had used ones that clamped on and snapped them right in half instantly. So you need real good forks, weld on there and a solid steel, and you know, you don't really want to be breaking stuff or have them fail when you're picking up logs or cars. And I do a little showcase on this backhoe, and we pick up one of those Subarus, drive it around, and see, there's one of the jumps right there we build in bank turns when we plow the driveway. Huh, where am I gonna go here? Because I'm gonna have to move that and that. Maybe I should just park it right over here for now. We made it home. Let me shut all my lights off. That's a key. Make sure you shut all those off because it'll kill your battery. But yeah, I'll park right here for now until I can figure out what I'm doing. And I can't even lower the back. Put the brake on. There we go, that might hold it. All right, now with any diesel, you want to let it idle for a minute just to cool it back down, the turbo cool down. There she is. I mean, she's a beast. That's a big machine to just run down the road like it's nothing. Here's a little look at how that all works out here. These hooks, big solid bar, and then forks with a pallet on there. Run around and give you a good look at this sucker. It's a cool machine. It's a nice style to it for 94. Like I was saying, these tires, you can see the dry rot in them as opposed to wearing out the tread. So go ahead, run it, use it. And the extended hoe, this thing comes out here. This gives you 15 feet of digging. Great. I love that this is solid under here because I bashed this with rocks and logs as I scoop up everything. Pretty much it with this thing. I hope you like and subscribe. Mr. Brian's Amazing World. You have a great day. Go out, drive your stuff, put it to work, use it, and take good care of it. This thing needs a cleaning. It's been a while. All right. We drop the bucket down here, and love the way that turbo winds down. Cool. And that's that. Let's see. That's great.